Hi, my name is Elle, and I'm the host of a DID system called the Mage system. Today I'm wearing these earbuds so that I can hear myself in this mic because I need to make sure it's continuing to work because I've tried to devise a way to plug it into my phone and it keeps stopping working, so I'm just, yeah. Anyways, this video is more for just people that watch my videos usually, just to inform you on basic stuff and, I don't know, maybe like rant or something for you just because, like, I know some of you like videos like that, so we'll see. This is kind of weird because I can hear myself, so, but that's fine. First thing I wanted to say is, yes, I went off T, and the reason I went off T is because I started having male pattern baldness. Not like a bunch or anything. I mean, I can show it to you. Just like, I mean, I don't know what that looks like to you. It only really started happening on one side. Well, I don't know. I didn't have like an amazing hairline in the first place, but like, anyways, it started falling out a little bit. And losing my hair is like one of my biggest fears of all time. Because last summer, I got this condition called telogen effluvium. And I don't know why it was. It could have been because I was malnourished. It could have been, I think there's a thing where, like, if you're like under general anesthesia, like, or anesthesia of any kind, like a few months prior to it happening, it can happen. And I did get my wisdom teeth out around that time, but I don't know. I could just be, I don't know. Basically, it's just caused by stress on the body or the brain, too. But basically what happens is a lot of your hair falls out. Like, my part was super wide. Yeah, by the end of it, it really sucked, and it was super traumatic. Like, I was shedding like a cat. Like, I mean, if you watched my video right before I went inpatient, I like pulled out a wad of my hair to show you. But like, that was so traumatic. And hey, going to like an ED facility to lose all your hair, that's the best place you can go because no one is gonna care. Everyone there already is not looking or feeling their best. But yeah, I wore beanies a lot for that time, and it took it a long time to grow back. And it was just really fucking traumatic for me. So ever since then, I've just had a big fear of losing my hair. So when that started, I started getting this like strong anxiety, and I was just like, no, I have to stop tea right now. Like, I have to stop tea. And I stopped tea. And that was like a month ago. And then for like a week after I stopped tea, I was crying every day. Partially because of the hormone drop off, and then partially probably because I was just very scared that it was going to keep happening. I was even convinced that my telogen effluvium was back for a second, but every time I would go in the shower, more of it would be falling out than usual, and so I was very convinced that something terrible was happening. And I took this photo of the top of my head, because you know whenever you have like a body dysmorphic obsession, you do shit like that all the time. And I sent it to like a friend, and that friend looked at it, and then they took a picture of their top of their head, and it looked the same. So I was like, shit, dang. And they were like, do you think you have body dysmorphia? And I was like, you have a point. And so anyways, that's eased my anxiety since then. But let me just tell you what's changed and my plan. Okay, well, let me tell you my plan first. So I think I realized at some point, like, my transition is not like a lot of the guys that I see where they go on T and 3 months in, they're passing and they look like men. My transition just wasn't like that, and I don't know if my doses were fucked up or something. I mean, I was on a half dose when I started, and my labs reflected that. And then right before I got on a full dose, I tested them again. My labs were still on a half dose, and they were more than like the top of the range for an 18-year-old male, like the prime testosterone age male, right? And then I still doubled my dose anyways, because I was like, well, that's bullshit. My labs must have been like messed up or something, because that's not possible. And then I got them tested again right before I got off T, and my doses were my like T levels were really low. So I don't know what was going on with them. And that could be responsible for the fact that I didn't have as many changes as I should have had at 8 months on T or something like that. But I just sort of like, even though it's probably not true, and that if I stayed on T for a long time, I probably would experience more changes, just really slow, I was beginning to feel very hopeless about it. And I was beginning to have this sensation that like, I might just have to stop doing this and go back to the way I was before, because I've always had this very big fear of being something that's in between. And I mean, I'm sure I do have, I mean, okay, let me say this. I identify at least partially as non-binary, and I've been ignoring that for a long time because I've been very all or nothing about this, and I've wanted people to respect me, and I wanted doctors to respect me. So I went, yes, I'm a trans man, you know, I marquee him on all the forums, whatever, but I am partially non-binary. And I think I do have a little bit of internalized NB phobia from the trans medicalist Calvin Guerra days on YouTube, because that was my first exposure when I used to be Max to like trans men, and that was just really hard. And then part of it, I think, is just a little bit of gender dysphoria, of the fact that I'm not completely non-binary, so I don't want to be this very completely androgynous thing. I think my ideal that I want to be is someone that looks like a cis man but dresses very androgynously. That's what I wanted originally. But I just think that I don't know if that's possible for me. I just don't know if I can do that. And I think I was very scared of looking like anything in between that. I was very scared of looking obviously trans. I either wanted to look like a cis guy or a cis girl. Like, I wanted to be cis-passing in some way. I did not want to look trans. And I looked trans for a long time, and I still do look trans. I look like a trans person. But I felt bad about it. Like, I didn't feel good about myself. And there were also several other reasons for that during that time. But I felt like shit about the way that I look for months now. And I think part of it is just being in this halfway transition state where it's like, well, now I'm failing at both womanhood and manhood. Like, what am I? Like, I feel like a freak of nature, which is just my own internalized, like, shit way of thinking. It's not rooted in anything rational. Like, I don't know, but I've been feeling better about myself recently. And I'm scared to get off of T because of body fat redistribution. That is the main thing. But I think other than that, I don't really care that much. Because I'm just like, well, I don't think I'm going to get what I want anyway. So, which I don't mean to be completely pessimistic about it. I mean, I can figure this out. I think I've been thinking more recently that I've been trying very hard to be normal for like the past year. Like, very hard. And I'm just not a normal person. So I'll be figuring that one out. But yeah, I was thinking maybe eventually I'll start T one day. But the thing is that I'd want to be on the highest dose of like hair loss prevention medication, which if you don't know, it's finasteride. It's a DHT blocker. When you take testosterone, some of it converts into a hormone called DHT, which is the testosterone that's responsible for your hair falling out, some sexual function as well, some other random stuff that it does. But if you take a DHT blocker, it can prevent your hair from falling out. and I got on the lowest dose of it. I went to Planned Parenthood and I asked for finasteride and they gave it to me, but I got on the lowest dose and then I stopped tea at the same time. So I'm still taking finasteride and I'm not on tea anymore. But I think if I start tea again, I want to have been on the highest dose of finasteride for a few months to give it time to start working. And then I start tea, which seems very overkill, but the anxiety is high because I'm just very scared of losing my hair. So the other thing that saddens me about not being on tea, the thing that was hardest for me about getting off of it, the thing that was most challenging was the shame of like coming out to everyone and like being like, oh, even if they don't accept me, one day I'll be this like actual like person who looks like a cis guy, and it won't matter because I will have gotten what I wanted. And you can't deny something that looks like I would look, right? But that's not gonna happen, and it's fucking embarrassing because it's like, whatever, I don't know. But, yeah. Anyways, I don't mind having, like, softer skin. In terms of if I'm not going to pass anyway, I don't really care about my skin. Or, like, any of that other stuff that estrogen does. My voice isn't going to go back. Any body hair that I grew isn't going to go back. Which is fine. That's fine with me. I mean, I always wish I wish my voice was lower. Now my voice is stuck in such an awkward spot for singing. I can't sing for shit anymore. I mean, not that I ever could, but... My fridge just turned on. It's kind of loud. I hope that's okay. What happens if I switch the setting on the microphone? That makes it louder. Okay, never mind. So, there's that. One of my least favorite things about tea was the libido increase. Sorry, that fridge is so loud. The libido increase made me uncomfortable. I didn't even realize it increased until... This just sounds crazy. I just thought something was wrong with me. And then I got off tea and I was like, oh, that's nasty. Which is so much better because, God, reflecting back on it, it was so challenging having a higher libido. Like, it was really challenging for me particularly. I just felt really bad about it, and I don't know how to elaborate on it anymore, but some of you might be able to tell what I mean by that. Like, it's not for me. Because I thought it would be fun if it happened. I thought it would be fun because the times in my life where I've, you know, been more of that way, it was fun. But there was a very big difference in the way it affects me, and particularly between my experience of that when I'm not on tea than when I'm on. And I noticed that whenever I got off tea, my romantic attraction level actually shot up. I find more people cute now. People that I've been watching for a while that I never noticed that way or thought of that way. I'm looking at them now and I'm seeing them in a different way. And it's like testosterone decreased that somehow and increased it the other way, which was just really uncomfortable. Another thing is I'm demisexual, which means that I can't be sexually attracted to an individual unless I've actually met them or talked to them, that's what it means to me anyway. And so I can find people cute over the internet or something like that, but I couldn't ever fathom myself having any kind of interaction in that way unless I've actually met them. And as far as how that plays out, like libido-wise, even if I'm not attracted to anyone in particular, there's still like some sort of biological mechanism that kicks in. And it's just like a longing for this nameless, faceless person. And anyways, it was just really uncomfortable for me. So I'm trying not to, like, I'm trying to talk about it in a vague enough way to where I don't have to, like, trigger warn it or anything. And I don't want to get any more specific because I don't want to be weird, but, but, yeah, what else? Okay, being off T, I think it gives me more anxiety, but it gives me less depression. Like, I feel like I can feel my feelings more. And I think it really depresses me whenever I can't feel my feelings. And I feel like sometimes when I was on T, I just felt very blank emotionally. And maybe it's in my head. I don't know. But I did feel like a very emotionally blank sometimes. And it really sucked. And I couldn't write any lyrics because I just felt so, like, artistically, like, dumb. By the way, all of these things are just the way they affected me. I'm sure it affects everyone differently. Like, some people don't experience that. Anyways, I think that's about it. My pronouns are still he, they. I'm still debating. I think I do identify as a trans man. But I'm also a little bit more non-binary than I thought. I do definitely identify with the label of genderqueer. Yeah. Still figuring it out, I guess. Okay. Oh. What another thing that I like more? The water retention that I had, like, on T in my face and in my body too, it just, like, left. And that's been great. Felt a whole lot more better about myself. I mean, I used to, like, really hate the way T changed my hair texture. If you watched me before I was on T, my hair was, like, this, like, cottony, like, soft looking thing. This ball of fluff. And now it's, like, this, like, I don't even know. And I hated it for a while. I was like, oh, I want my estrogen hair back. But now that I'm off T, I'm like, I don't want my estrogen hair to come back because I like this. I don't know. That's stupid and random, but anyways, this is just a random ranting video because I had time to film one, so but there will be a more well-structured written video coming. But I just thought I would make this because some people like whenever I rant. But, like, the past few months, I just physically haven't been able to rant because I've been too depressed to rant. Like, I can't form coherent thoughts. Like, I was constantly stuttering anytime I tried to film a video. Just had zero passion for anything. So I was gonna try and make this video prettier, but then I was like, hey, maybe the vibe of just completely candid, like you just walked into my room, just chilling here at my desk. I don't know, let me know what you think. And let me know your thoughts and experiences, or if you have anything to say to me. I need some chapstick. This is the best chapstick, by the way. Okay. Bye.